In the summer of 1816, farmers in New England woke up to an unbelievable sight: snow covering their crops in June. By July, lakes had frozen over. Across the Atlantic, in Europe, wheat fields blackened in the frost. Starving families pulled apart furniture for firewood just to survive the cold. This was not some local quirk of weather. This was global, and it all began the year before, in April 1815, with the violent eruption of Mount Tambora, a volcano in Indonesia. Tambora wasn't just any eruption. It was the largest in at least 1,000 years. The blast ejected so much ash and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere that it spread across the globe, forming a veil of particles in the stratosphere. That veil reflected sunlight back into space, plunging the Earth into what scientists call a volcanic winter. The effects were catastrophic. Temperatures across the northern hemisphere dropped by as much as 3 degrees Celsius, enough to wreck harvests everywhere. In Europe, the situation was dire. Still reeling from the Napoleonic Wars, nations faced widespread famine. Grain prices doubled. In Switzerland, desperate families boiled weeds and grass for food. In France, riots erupted as mobs looted bakeries crying, "Bread or blood!" In North America, snow fell in Vermont in June. Frost struck every month of the year. Farmers watched helplessly as corn turned black in the fields. Livestock starved because there was no hay to cut for the winter. Thousands of New Englanders gave up and migrated west, hoping for better land in Ohio and beyond. Meanwhile, in Asia, the monsoon was disrupted. Floods devastated parts of China, while drought gripped others. In India, the altered rainfall patterns unleashed a massive outbreak of cholera, the very epidemic that would haunt the century. But the story of 1816 isn't only one of disaster. In Europe, that same gloomy summer trapped a group of writers indoors near Lake Geneva. Among them, Lord Byron, John Polidori, and Mary Shelley. With days dark as twilight and nights that seemed endless, they challenged each other to write ghost stories. Out of that challenge came Polidori's The Vampire, a forerunner to Dracula, and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, a book that would define modern science fiction. So, The Year Without a Summer reshaped more than just farming and migration. It shaped culture, science, and even literature. It revealed how a single eruption on a remote island could ripple across the entire planet, freezing crops, sparking riots, shifting populations, and giving birth to monsters on the page. The summer of 1816 reminds us of something uncomfortable. Our civilizations, as advanced as they seem, are still deeply vulnerable to the forces of nature. When the sun disappeared, the world changed.